very good morning, grade 6, and welcome to your literature class. We will continue reading Wonder from Augie's point of view. So, the objective of today's lesson are to understand the theme of bullying in Wonder. While doing this, you will be defining theme and bullying. You will identify and explain bullying in Wonder, and of course, you'll select and retrieve information from the text. So what is theme? We've done this before. You know that it is the big idea or the message about people, life and the world. They can be a word or a phrase. It is basically what the author wants us to learn. So theme is what the author teaches the reader. So this is an extract from a page you read last week. It's page 265. It's basically the fight scene between Eddie and Augie. And there's a video clip as well. You can watch that. And I'll give you 2 minutes to do that. And I want you to have a paper and a pen with you. Okay? Yes, you're right when you say that Jack and August try to walk away from the bullies. They ask them to leave them alone. They confront the bullies very calmly and ask them what their problem is, and they do not respond to the bullies. So, can you now think of any other strategies that Augie and Jack could have tried? Anything else? Correct. Staying calm, keeping strong body language, not resorting to bullying back, telling a trusted adult, or running away from danger. So, the objective of today's lesson are to understand the theme of bullying in Wonder. While doing this, you will be defining theme and bullying. You will identify and explain bullying in Wonder, and of course, you'll select and retrieve information from the text. So that brings us to bullying in Wonder. So we know that Augie has been bullied since he was a child because of his appearance, like in parks, at cinema, wherever he went. But the bullying in school is different because Julian and his friends make life miserable for Augie, or for anybody else who befriends August. For example, on Halloween, Jack gets roped into a mean-spirited conversation with Julian about August. And Jack is able to say all those mean things because he does not know that Augie is standing right behind him because everyone's wearing a mask. And also at the camp, Eddie and his group bully August and call him names, which you've already watched a while ago. So we also see here, however, the remedies for bullying in Wonder. So you know what happens during the class camping trip and in the months leading up to it suggests that there are 2 remedies for bullying. So basically it shows us that people are far more likely to stand up to bullying when they are not going to be bullied themselves for doing so. So we see that when the school goes for the class camp, Julian does not go because his parents don't send him. That's when Miles, Henry and Amos, who would up until now following Julian blindly and bullied August along with him, they choose to stand up to the others who are trying to bully August. And this is something they do only when Julian is not there, which shows that how mean and toxic Julian is and how he can ruin all the others. Like one person in a group can ruin the whole group. And also we see that although Julian persists in trying to make August's life miserable by turning most other boys in the 5th grade class against him, he eventually loses ground because after a few months August and Jack observe that most of their classmates are no longer interested in participating in Julian's fight. and as a result of this, most of their classmates start behaving very considerately to August and Jack, and everyone's like started to accept August, right? That brings us to our second task. So here are some scenarios. They're basically about characters who in Wonder who at some point have been bullied. So I'll read out the task to you, and you have to tell me which anti-bullying strategy do you think the character could have used, or if you were in the character's place, what would you do? So, first up is a game has started at school called the Plague. Anyone who accidentally touches one particular child has 30 seconds to wash their hands or find the hand sanitizer before they catch the plague. The child hasn't been told that this game is being played about them. So, what should the character do? And who is this character? I'm sure you know it. Okay, the second one. So, children have started to leave nasty notes in the lockers and school bags of two other children. They have also started to dump horrible things like pencil sharpener shavings into the children's bag. What should the child do, or the children do? Okay, the next one. A group of friends come back to school after the summer holidays. It turns out that all the friends have met up over the summer except for one girl. They've been very distant with her at school, and they don't seem to want her in their friendship group anymore. What should the girl do? What anti-bullying strategy should she use? Last one. The meanest kid at school thinks it's fun to tease you every chance she gets. This is about you. So if you are in this scenario, what would you do? You're afraid she's going to hurt you, and you're starting to hate school. What would you do? How would you overcome this? So, since you've understood what bullying is, and we've had a recap, we've had we've gone over what bullying is and how is it shown in Wonder. Let's talk about the lessons that we're supposed to read for this week. Here is a very brief summary for the 4 chapters that we're doing this week. They are Voices in the Dark, The Emperor's Guard, Sleep, and Aftermath. You can read the brief summary here, and you will also find attached chapter summaries as a separate file. Okay, so you can go over them, and I've added a little analysis for you to better understand the lessons. So that brings us to the final task, which is for you to go over the chapter summaries and answer the questions on the worksheet. Thank you.